So last time we met, you guys made your way back with these newfound treasures that you had raided from the now found tomb, the once lost tomb, carrying with you the legendary axe that, when activated, erupts into this kind of necrotic, smoky blades upon it, and you learned that it was sentient. And so as you made your way back over the course of 2 days worth of travel, getting a little bit more rest in, you return to the city, and which you find out that you now have officially been granted access to the greater kingdom, or the true city of Dmyra. And after meeting and having a nice little reunion with Sue, you guys feasted, kind of got to know Beatrice and some of the surrounding kobolds that were in this fort, until you entered into the city proper. And as you were kind of seeking out the sights, Sue left with Beatrice to Beatrice's home, where she's going to be kind of regrounding herself, helping Beatrice out, as she's kind of an alchemist of sorts. And you guys proceeded over to the keep, in which outside you met Laertes, and you guys all have entered into the main chamber of the keep. And as you had entered, you'd seen the king and queen kind of standing there talking with some kobolds. You see that there's a very large, portly frog-like creature, which you guys are totally welcome to roll nature checks if you want to. You see that there is another creature in there that you recognized earlier. There's a troglodyte, and you see that there is a goblin as well. But as Laertes kind of makes you all known, the king and queen say a few words to this gathering of individuals, and then they actually leave from the chamber. But what did you guys roll if you wanted to roll nature check?
3,
great.
21.
14. Starcaller and Sephel, that large kind of amphibian-like creature, was a bullywug. They're these kind of larger frog-like creatures. You, Sephel, have like this kind of like inkling, same with you, Starcaller, that they're on the surface, they're a little more tribal and deadly, and tend to live in swamps of sorts. But this one was much larger, and he kind of had these horn-like protrusions above his eyebrows, and kind of like this wispy hair, which looked quite odd compared to his like bubbly, toadish like skin.
Would I know if bullywugs are common in the Underdark? Like, is it weird to see one down here, or are there some that would be
make a straight up intelligence check or history check, actually.
Okay. Nope. 10.
You don't know. It's possible, but a lot of things are weird in the Underdark. So,
sure.
But as this group leaves, the king and queen kind of step forward, and let's move you guys over to the new map.
New maps.
Yes.
Ooh.
You see that behind them sits this incredibly large round table, which above it hangs this beautiful chandelier. Stone chairs all about this, and this table is littered with scrolls and books and inkwells and all sorts of things. Beyond it, you see this large, grand fireplace that is roaring. And contrary to the light that I have depicted on this map, the fire within the fireplace doesn't shine this reddish yellow light. It's actually blue, and it's reminiscent of the flames that you had seen in many of the lanterns within the initial gate castle that you had passed through.
Scylla, as she walks into this room, I just want to point out, is dripping wet all over the floor.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
So that's a great look for our first visit.
Yeah. The king and queen, as they kind of come forward, they notice that you're dripping wet, and King Balater looks like he's about to say something, and you catch Griselda just like puts her hand on his arm and is just like, no. Just,
No.
to which she goes, it is wonderful to see you all. I'm glad to hear of your return, and as I just mentioned moments before, welcome to the greater kingdom, the true city of Dimcairn. Now tell me, how was your travel?
Good king. It was well. We were able to make our corner of the Underdark just a little safer, and have gained several fine treasures for our trouble.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is very good to hear. Anything of particular note?
Oh, indeed. And I'm gonna just heft Dawn's edge above my head, and use my bonus action to create darkness.
And all of a sudden, the impressive amount of torchlight that was in here just sinks in, and King Balater actually kind of like takes a step back, very shocked and surprised. He's like, What is this? What is this weapon you now wield?
Its name is Dawn's Edge, and in years past, centuries past, in fact, it was a weapon of the light. It has been so long in the Stygian depths that it no longer shines as it once did, but I believe it and I are of common cause, and we will strive to make this world a safer place, and one day again bask in the warmth of our sun.
Balater kind of like comes forward a little bit and is just like watching the smoky Stygian dark blade, and we actually hear Dawn's Edge speak up, and as the voice kind of appears within all of your minds, in which she says, "Greetings, King and Queen," you see that red kind of light crackle through, and then when her voice fades, so does the crackling. But the king goes, it's the weapon speaks.
Oh, yes, it is essentially alive for all intents and purposes.
That is magnificent. I've never heard of such a thing. What's everybody's passive insight, by the way?
Great question.
Great.
Bad.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty sure it's like
think
11.
anybody here has it. 14. Okay.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not... Oh, 13. 13. I'm not as bad as I thought.
Okay. The two of you, Sephel and Scylla, you notice that as King Balater is like, I've never heard of such a thing. You think he's lying. He has heard of a talking sentient weapon of a sort.
I believe you just lied.
Oh, Scylla!
I'm sorry?
I'm not... What makes you think that I'm lying?
Oh, I am so sorry. It had to do with the way that you moved your eyes just now and the general emotional impression I received. My people don't lie. You just did.
I deeply apologize for the
it's okay.
lack of respect, but I do have to agree with Scylla. You're bullshit. You're bullshitting right now.
You did just tell a big old falsehood, you big old liar.
Big old lie. Don't you lie to me.
And it does not befit a budding alliance to enter with falsehoods, especially when artifacts of great import and great utility are the subject of conversation.
His eyes kind of squint a little bit as he looks at the pair of you. And then he looks over towards his wife, and he looks back to the two of you, and he goes, well, I've heard such interesting stories before of sentient weapons, items of such stuff, but I have never personally wielded anything of the sort. And so I find it odd that something so powerful was so close to our kingdom that it had not drawn our attention sooner. But it's true, it was wrong of me to have lied, especially during our burgeoning friendship, and so accept, please, my heartfelt apologies.
Do you have particular muddy history with such items? Is it... I mean, is there a reason that you would be, A, interested in them in the first place, but also skeptical of their existence and your lack of knowledge of them?
Well, we are severely lacking within our kingdom of magical knowledge and prowess, and so our understandings of such things are limited to what our alchemists and those of the Platinum Talon are able to share with us. And those of our smiths, they have only managed to begin a rudimentary level of imbuing magics within some of our weapons and armor. But beyond that, we do not have much more, and it puzzles my mind. And to understand how such a force of life could be imbued into something that otherwise would not be so. So I'm, of course, curious when I hear such stories. I've not personally sought such a thing. I was worried that it would persuade my mind, and I already have so much to take care of. Does that answer your fucking question?
Jesus.
Artomis is just like standing to the side, like having like dismissed the shadow, just like looking really awkward, holding the haft of an axe, just like.
I do accept this answer as an apology, and it is satisfactory.
Wonderful, I'm glad to hear that. Storecaller, perhaps we can put the blade away. The darkness is a bit unnerving.
Ah, yes, of course. And yeah, I'll dismiss it and look even more abashed.
It's quite all right.
Sephel did have a vision while we were in the tomb. Perhaps that would be good to share.
I did to some degree. It pertained more to the history of the artifact and of the tomb it lied within. I don't know how much of it necessarily is useful to our current situation. It was more useful in the tomb, unless I'm forgetting anything.
You do not have to regale us with the story of the tomb and of this weapon right at this moment. Perhaps when you're better rested, you could even write it down for us. I would much enjoy to read it at my leisure. But please, is there anything we can get you? Are you parched, hungry? Are you in need of a place to sleep? What can we do for you?
A place to rest our heads would be most welcome, my king, and we are, I've been showing my friends here around the Greater Kingdom, and we hope to soon be able to take up our offer to assault the hot springs and win them back for the Kingdom of Ember, after talking to the smiths and whatnot.
No, that would be wonderful if we could get to that as soon as possible. I will have to check in with the miners. I believe we're a day or two out before the entrance will be uncovered, and as we reach the final layers of stone that block the passage, we will gather you, as you will serve as part of our vanguard in, as we do not quite know exactly what will lay us in there, but well, I suppose you wouldn't want to stay within this dusty old fort. And he's kind of gesturing around. This place is truly only reserved for times of war in case there's some kind of invasion within the city. We have not really had before, except for, well, that beast. And he turns and looks up, and you guys see suspended from the ceiling far above you is actually the carapace, the giant carapace of a purple worm.
Whoa.
And it's truly massive, and you can see all along it there are what look like old spears still stuck within it, and it has been like you see like steel cables almost extending out and keeping it within the rafters there, but it has slowly become almost more bleached, so it's kind of got like this white kind of bony color, but you see it, and you see the massive maw as well, but its body curls between the different pillars up above it as it reaches the ceiling. But that is a story for another time. But other than offering you dusty rooms here, perhaps the Serpent's Maw, the one true place of good liquor and drink within the city of Dmyra, can service you a bit better. Perhaps you can talk to the mistress and see if she is willing to provide you some rooms.
But of course, my king, it will be our pleasure.
Wonderful. Now, if you do succeed in getting lodging there, I will send Laertes to search for you. Otherwise, we will let out a general notice that anybody who should find you should send you our way. But it grows late for us, and we're gonna go. Just gonna go. Yeah. We're just gonna leave. I'm bad at exiting. I don't know how to do this.
No, we are very grateful, and thank you for being honest about your lie, and we will leave.
Glad that's worked out. Truly. No,
Yes.
This is most comforting. Yes, perhaps, Starcaller, you can spend the next day or so showing them about the city. You know, I don't think we'll have any war games coming up for about another week or so, but do try to stay out of trouble.
We will do our...
Speaking of...
Please.
Sorry. Speaking of exploration and trouble, I couldn't help but notice a sectioned off, curious-looking set of ruins to the northwest direction of this keep. What do you know of the history of that area, and what is the history and accessibility of such a place?
You see his face gets a little bit darker, and he says, "Truth be told, we do not know any of the history there within what we generally call just the ruins. See, we were introduced to this greater cavern by an amethyst dragonborn that called himself Margul Narin. He was the one that came across my father, Chief Inic, when we were more of a tribal people, and he promised us a place of safety while we were struggling here within the Underdark, and so when our people arrived, so I am told, that particular section, when we had finally bridged the river, it grew cold, and the ground seemed devoid of much growth of any kind. There once looked like there was greater zirkwood trees that grew within there, but they seemed to have shriveled and died long ago, almost looking petrified in a way. And after we had created the bridge that spanned over towards that section, we were waylaid within a few hours by all sorts of abominations and monsters of such, and so grew a battle until we were able to erect a wall of sorts, close as we could possibly get to the ruins. And since then, even to the time where I was born, and even now, well into my rule, we have not gone past the wall. for whatever reason, those that try to surpass the wall find their memories gone and somehow back on our side of the wall, walking forward as if nothing had happened, that they had not leapt over the other side and gone to explore. They truly have no memories of it, and so for generations we have left it in peace. As I mentioned to you before, we've had no Urds born within our society, granting us with innate magic, anything that could combat whatever this power seems to lie over the ruins. But please be careful should you choose to investigate. I would hate to lose such new and good friends to whatever may be lurking there. As of now, we've also had no cause to further our aims in, as it has not, well, the horrors that once attacked us have not attacked since. That is all I know.
Interesting.
Sounds like a bad idea to me, but hey, you are the smart one.
So let's not do that.
Stool pipes up with a puff of spores, and he's like, yeah, that doesn't sound great at all. Like, death? I've experienced it, kind of, sort of. I don't want to do that.
I mean, are any of us going to sit here and think that any of our options are particularly safe and
I
straightforward?
mean, the inn
and
sounded
good?
great.
Now,
Well, okay, that's
This guy
short,
gets it.
That is short term.
I would question, did any of them attempt to write anything down while they were gone? Perhaps when they returned?
Those that ventured forward.
Yes.
No. No, those that stood upon the wall keeping watch, watched them enter into the mists that kind of surround the ruins. And then, nothing but a few moments later, they were back on the other side of the wall.
Oh, I see. I don't see it all. This is very difficult.
I don't either, but it does seem intriguing. Perhaps not a right now investigation, but I would be remiss if I left this area entirely without poking around.
As long as it causes no loss of life to yourselves, or causes any greater problems that may endanger my people, I have no quarrels with you exploring the ruins if you can.
And of course, I would not attempt anything that would put yourself or your denizens in danger. That would be quite uncouth.
And it's
of a
like the
new
camera
guest.
pans behind Sephel's back and his fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
He's just like leans over to Scylla and he's just like, fuck these guys.
You're right.
It's like, I will slaughter them, eat all of them.
But the king...
So
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, it sounds like we're just gonna like do errands for the next 24 hours.
That's entirely up to you guys.
They're gonna open up that tunnel. We want to be there before they fully open it, right? So we have we should probably be there in a day so that there's like a buffer between when it's open.
Yeah, I kind of want to explore the ruins, but I feel like I don't want to go into the plumbing situation at half HP with no memory.
No, we definitely...
Okay,
like,
cool.
this is an after the
Okay,
fact.
cool.
This is not a...
Double thumbs up. Team S
yeah.
comes to agree.
Well,
We
be smart
are
now.
in agreement.
we'd be smart now.
Okay,
Don't get ahead of yourselves.
Calm.
Well, the king and queen bow, kind of give polite goodbyes. Laertes actually shows you guys out of the keep and looks to you, Starcaller, and goes, You know the way to the Serpent's Maw, do you not?
Oh, indeed I do, old friend. I can take it from here.
Wonderful. I will hopefully see you all pretty soon. And he
Excellent.
waves and walks back into the fort. And you guys are left with on the bridge outside of Coalfire Keep. What do you want to do?
Starcaller, are there any, this may be a strange question, are there any pools of lava around Dmyra?
Am I aware of any lava in the vicinity?
You, Starcaller, would know that there's no pools of lava within the city of Dmyra, which is, as we are looking at our main city map here, all of Dmyra. The only place that you believe, through stories, because it's a bit secluded, is you've heard stories that there might be lava within the Dwellin mines. However, access is extremely limited to those of the Dwellin family or their smithies and private guard. Other than that, some of the hottest locations are the hot springs, or if you were to follow the underground river, eventually you're supposed to kind of reach a point where it drops off, and then nobody's sure except for this gaping hole. A great heat kind of comes from it.
Okay.
Yes, well, there's something that makes the hot springs hot, and, I have heard that if you go far enough down the river, there's an abyss of fiery death, but no one really goes that way, and, well, there might be fire down the mines, but you have to get really in with the Dwellin family for that, and, and I guess that was where we found you guys. That's a couple of days off, but we could certainly get you back there, if need be.
Maybe we don't go back there.
I would prefer not to.
Let's table this. And
fair enough.
Deal with the hot
How about
springs.
first we get very
just
drunk?
Curiosity. I don't know that I can.
Let us test this theory.
Starcaller, quick question for you. Do all of the kobolds who live in the keep also reside in Dmyra?
By the coal fire keep that we just met or left, or the gatehouse that we were in before.
The gatehouse.
Yes. No. Usually they rotate in and out. So most of them do live here or have a home here, and then they go to the gatehouse for service and defense.
Understood. What time of day is it? Like, or I guess there's no time. Is this like?
Time is a construct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Am I tired?
Dark.
Yeah. Is it bedtime yet? Like, what's the deal?
So, it's definitely what you guys would consider later at this point.
Okay.
However, the atmosphere of the city, I think I explained it very, very sparsely before. It's pretty humid within the city of Dmyra. There's kind of like this constant pervasive heat that fills without. You actually see far up above with the stalactites that there's actual clouds formed amongst them, far, far above you, hundreds and hundreds of feet above. It's like there's this own kind of atmosphere that has developed here. Because of the crystals and the natural humidity and kind of moisture that seems to surround the area because of the river and stuff like that, it gives this kind of rainbow hue to the light within here, which is pretty interesting. And then the other thing, too, that really strikes you compared to many of the places, especially like Gracklestug, is that it smells extremely clean here. Like Starcaller, when you got down here, everything has like this musty, stale scent except for the city of Dmyra. And even you, Sephel, it's like literally breathing fresh air of the surface. To you, Scylla, it's probably pretty nice. It's not quite swimming in water or anything like that, but this, I would equate this to like a 90% humidity, hot 90-degree day in the summertime of like New England. That's the best comparison I have. So it's pretty warm. There's a constant light here throughout, though, so it's really hard to say if it's necessarily nighttime. But you don't see too many people moving about, so you would think, yeah, you know what? It could probably be time to go sleep if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Quick clarifying question. I would doubt it because I think I already asked King Balater about this, and he didn't seem familiar. But do any of the crystals scattered about anywhere in Dimcairn seem reminiscent of the ones that I have encountered, and some of which are on my staff?
You're looking about, and as you guys are kind of following Starcaller, I imagine you take a look at some of the blue crystals. They're not the same.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, they look very similar to quartz, just very large crystalline, regular quartz with various different colors here. But they also kind of have that odd energy that you guys did come across within the castle long ago. But it doesn't seem to be, almost volatile in a sense.
These are useless to me. Let us get drunk.
At the very least, we shall try.
Okay.
All right. So you guys make your way back across the bridge and through kind of what looks like a much more manor-populated part of the city and towards the market area till eventually you come across a bigger building that's pretty nicely made. It's fitted stonework and a slate roof of sorts. You hear music coming from there and cheers. And as you open up the very large arched door in, you are immediately slammed with the smell of hard liquor, good food, and you see kobolds swinging from chandeliers. You see them dancing on tables. Shit's going off. And the little cast iron sign that swings above the door says the Serpent's Maw, and it just looks like the skeletal head of a snake with its mouth open. And as you enter in, you see that there is a bar in the far back. There are a couple different kobolds. There is a troglodyte as well that are slinging drinks to multiple people. And you see that there are stews being handed out. You see there's big plates of what look like a meat of some kind and all sorts of tubers. And you see that over on the other side, to the right-hand side of this very large room in which everybody is having a great time, you see that there looks to be kind of like a desk and then a set of stairs that goes up to a second floor.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Serpent's Maw. Let's see if they have room for us. And I'll walk up to the desk and see what I can see.
Okay. You see that there is a kind of a purple scaled kobold. He has a monocle over his left eye, and he looks up to you with this quill and this odd book there, and he goes, "May I help you?"
Yes, my good sir. We 344 are seeking rooms in your establishment.
Yes, let me take a look in the books. One moment. Looks down. There's nothing on the page. And he goes, "I think we're full up. I'm very sorry to report this."
King Balitaire said that might be the case. And then I'm gonna lean on the desk. But he also said you might be willing to make some accommodation for heroes of the realm.
But of course, yes, I'm very sorry. Looks back down, starts, "Your names, please."
I am Artomis Starcaller, wielder of Dawn's Edge, Knight of the Darkness.
Oh. And
You can put that down.
Yeah.
Crew.
Yes, and here is my crew. Scylla, Sephel, and Stool.
No. The crew he is a part of, he does not represent
tomato,
us.
tomato.
Just the S crew is fine. Starcaller, stop talking.
Yes, of course, the S crew. And you see that a couple of people in the nearby tables have all turned and are just staring at you. There's a couple kobolds with just beer froth across their mouth and stuff, just what the fuck. And so he's just the S crew. Will we be needing individual rooms?
No, I think we should all bunk together as a way of building comradeship and camaraderie.
I think
It
that's
does not matter
fine.
to me. I will be sleeping in the bathroom.
Why, may I ask, would you be sleeping in the bathroom?
Well, I assume you have a tub.
Yes, of course we have plumbing, but why are you
That will
sleeping
be
in the
fine.
tub?
She has strange habits. Just let her have it. It's better if you don't ask. We'll
He
clean
readjusts
up
his monocle,
afterwards.
looks at like Scylla up and down, and is like, very well then, pencil that in. Extra large room with bathtub ready. I will just need to run this by Mistress Tabitha, and then we'll get you checked in. Excuse me one moment. And he gets down off of his tall stool, which you can just see like the tops of his ears and his like kind of horns, walks around the desk. He scampers up the stairs and goes over to what you guys see is like a balcony overlooking the lower floor. And you see up there is what appears to be a human woman. She has this long, fine black hair, and it's kind of done up in this very intricate style. And she's wearing these very nice kind of robes of multicolored hues all about her. And she's sitting at this small table, and she just seems to be sipping on like tea or something. And she kind of leans over to listen to this purple kobold and peers down at all of you, and you see that she has like these piercing green eyes and very pale complexion. But she stares for a long moment, nods her head. The kobold comes down and goes, "Yes, no, we can escort you to your room now." And he pulls out what looks like a kind of like what we would call like a skeleton key with a like slate number on it, and it has the number 4, and he hands it over just like over the table to whoever would like to carry your room key.
Oh, but of course, my friend. I'll just grab it up before anyone else can.
Okay. And he leads you upstairs, and you are finally reach a door. You open it up, and it's quite big in here. It's about 30 by 20 feet. You see that there are a handful of beds in there. 2 of them look quite large, like queen or king size, and then there's like a twin size bed kind of stuffed in the corner. There's a couple chairs, some tables. You see that instead of kind of like a separate room, there's almost a recess in which you kind of follow through until there is a very large bathroom with this stone carved out pool, in which you see that it's already filled with kind of like this warm water. And you guys are in your room.
Oh, this is quite nice.
Indeed. One of the many delights of Didcot.
Yes, Scylla, is the plumbing to your liking? Will that be enough for you?
Oh, this is more than
evening?
satisfactory.
You look to the side of the tub, and there's a sign that says no diving.
Yeah.
Sounds like a challenge.
Are we heading to the bar?
I would think so. We can imbibe and eat, and then on the morrow, whenever we wake, we can make our preparations and then make our way towards the tunnel to the hot springs.
Agreed.
Very well.
Okay. So you guys kind of dump some of your belongings, and then you head back down and into the large kind of bar scene. You guys getting a table? You going up to the bar itself? What you doing?
Yeah. Let's grab a table, and then I'll go and grab us like a round of ales.
Okay. Do you want to serve them the specialty of Dmyra, or do you just kind of want the generic ale?
Oh no, they need the special treatment.
They need the special treatment. Okay. So you're like, I need 4 ripple fires. And the troglodyte who's behind the bar just kind of like gives you a nod and a wink, and turns around and fills these large crystal goblets with this kind of smoky looking red-brown liquid, hands them over to you, and is like, are you going to need any food with those? Are you... Star Caller, isn't it?
Yes, my good man.
Right. No, you're familiar with this. I'll bring something over for the table. Don't worry about it.
Very good, sir. And I'll bring the fire ripple over to the crew.
Interesting.
When he sets down these drinks in front of you guys, the smell hits you pretty quickly. It's this very strong, almost sour at first when you get this whiff, and then it smooths into kind of a smoky, almost like cider. It's very interesting.
Is this safe for consumption?
But of course. Yeah.
Scylla's going to pick it up and dump it onto her gills.
What?
So that it goes straight into her body without drinking it.
You're pouring it into your lungs?
Well, that's how fish do it. That's how they drink water.
No, it's not. It's how they get oxygen.
I don't think that's correct.
You know what?
Andrew works with fish. Andrew, help.
Yeah, the gills are specifically for breathing.
Oh, damn it. Damn it!
No.
So,
it filters oxygen.
We're gonna roll with
so-
this. Make a Constitution saving throw as you dump this liquor down your lungs.
Oh, I made a bad choice. I was 5.
Is it safe for consumption? You just
She's literally drowning her sorrows.
Oh no!
You are hacking and coughing, and you feel this horrible, intense, burning sensation as it is scorching your airways until this liquid starts coming back out of your gills. Now you're like 100% certain this is no good for drinking, but you're also like, what the fuck did I do that for?
Oh no!
You're like, someone must have hit me. I would have never have put this in my gills.
You've been out of the water so long, you forgot how to be
I
in
just-
the
I-
fish.
River like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, right. She's like, I do not feel well.
That was rather stupid. Why did you do that?
I do not. I'll take water.
I'll gesture to the barkeep. Now Sephel, you and I then, the more traditional way, and I'll move to like cheers with Sephel.
I will cheer Starcaller, and I'll like the tentacle spread, and he like grasps.
Oh, I hate it! I hate it so much.
The flagon in them, and just like tilts it
you
backwards.
pick it up with one of the tentacles, the other ones move away, and just
No
starts
hands
drinking
involved.
it. It's
Yeah.
good.
I don't know how this works. Okay, I don't know if I can get
You're gonna
intoxicated.
find out if you keep drinking.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah,
really
yes.
good. It almost has this pomegranate, like apple cider, like combo with a mixture of almost mold, like spices, and it has the almost same kind of burning sensation as like a whiskey. And you're like, I don't remember ever having whiskey, but I know this feeling. And it's this wonderful kind of concoction that comes into your senses. And the barkeep comes over and puts down this huge platter, and on it you see what looks like snail. You see what looks like a couple roasted spiders of a sort, and then this big kind of like slab of steak, like meat on there as well. And he sets down a couple waters as well, a couple small cups and a pitcher of water, and goes, "So how is everything? Are you liking the ripple fire, sir?"
It is quite decadent for a drink as strong and powerful as this is.
Yes,
it is
roast
quite good.
ripple bark, fermented fire lichen, distilled in toasted zirkwood barrels. It's very good.
I don't know anything you just said,
He
but it
kind
is
of looks
quite
at you
tasty.
puzzled, and he's like, no, it's a specialty of Dimcan here, but I'm glad you're enjoying it all the same. Will you be needing more, Starcaller? Are you in need of another?
Ah, yes, my good sir. Bring me around.
Absolutely, I'll bring you another. The large Myconid, does he drink? And you just see Stools holding the cup, but he just dumps it on the skull.
No, he
and it
certainly
just
does not.
goes off. He doesn't know what else to do.
Stop it.
I don't know how this works.
I think he likes it.
There are enough mind-numbing substances coming out of you. We do not need to put any
But what
in.
if it quiets the voices?
Nothing quiets the voices. You harness them and make them your strength, Stool.
Okay, you got it.
Listen to the screams of the damned. They will tell you the way.
But yeah, you guys. He brings over another round of drinks. Do you guys keep pounding him back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pounding that water.
I'll probably have a second one. I don't know how
Sure.
deep Sephel will go into this. It's like, it's not only that he doesn't need to drink. I imagine that consuming alcohol of all things after such a long time of not needing really to consume anything is actually quite uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have you roll a Constitution save with disadvantage. That was gonna happen.
Okay.
Even with the first drink.
All right. Okay, that one's not bad. Would you consider alcohol to be a poison?
absolutely. Even by real terms, it's a poison.
Sure is.
Okay, cool. So it's just a straight roll because I have advantage against disease and
You
poison.
tricky son bitch.
So thank you for that. So thanks to the fine print, that is
Okay.
a 21.
You are you're pretty fine. However, your body is starting to feel kind of warm, and you feel kind of this slight, ever so slight fuzziness within your brain, and you can kind of like, for the rest of you can see his kind of like cephalopod like back of his head start kind of like squirming ever so slightly more than usual. But that's kind of what's going on with him. Starcaller, are you a regular drinker?
I think he is. I think it's kind of the bellicose knight that he is.
Okay, so you're doing fine. 2 drinks, ripple fire. You're pretty good with it. Scylla, are you sticking with the water with the whole gill debacle?
Yeah, she's probably gonna add some salt to it as well.
Okay.
Just some water, some salt water.
Yeah, some salt water. Yeah, get some things going.
You know, it's the good shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing energizes you more.
Yeah.
Stool gets handed another drink, and before you can stop him, he just like chucks it on himself. But he like, you don't know if he's actually consuming anything. But yeah, as like a little bit time passes, you guys dig in. You are told that the platter that has been brought out is like the equivalent of like surf and turf. There's the rothe steak. There's bits and pieces of giant spider, and then some of the snails that actually they drag out of the underground river nearby. And it's pretty good food, you know, for those of you that actually partake in it. The snails, probably for you, Scylla, are pretty reminiscent of your diet back home. So it's just, yeah, it's good.
Escargot, man.
Yeah. Never had it myself, but I've heard mixed things.
Oh, I can promise you it's delicious.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as the night, as we'll call it, kind of continues on, kobolds come by, they're talking to you, are trying to drag you guys out to dance. Do you guys partake in any of the events going on within this tavern?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah? You breaking it down?
Scylla is line dancing her heart out.
Oh, fuck yeah. Roll me performance. At advantage, because you have kobolds like all around you doing this line dance.
I also think she has no shame, which really helps when line dancing.
Nice. Yes, it does. It really does.
That's a nat 20.
Oh!
When it
damn.
matters.
She's got that like circle of
Yeah.
kobolds around
Oh,
her.
No.
She's like breakdancing
It's a
in
critical
the center of the
boogie
tavern.
down.
Yeah, everybody's just like, it just turns into a montage of like everybody's in a line, and then it's just Scylla, who is eventually up on the bar countertop, just doing like a jig at some point, and then comes back down, and everybody's doing the line dance again. But everybody's loving it. There's people clapping about, cheering you on.
Nice.
Drinks are being handed to you. Do you take any of the drinks? Like, people are loving it. They're like, buy her a drink.
I'm getting, you know what? She's going to take every drink that is given to her, and then she will then throw them over her shoulder because she knows. So it's literally like taking the drink and then like, oh, with my wild dance moves, they're just going everywhere.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that monocled little kobold by the end of the night is just drenched and looking with pure
He's
hatred.
the only one that like truly understands what's happening here, and he's just absolutely disgusted, and he's like trying to chase down Scylla of like, stop it, no, stop, you're wasting good beverage. And
she's gonna pull him into a dance.
Oh god. And he's just like, I hate
you all.
everything, as he's being swung around because he's half your size. And all the other kobolds now have been splashed by the numerous amounts of drinks that you're just throwing over. Everybody's just like, this woman's weird. She creates water wherever she dances. She's like Jesus. I'm just kidding.
Boring.
Boring. Oh my gosh, she produces beer. Ripple fire comes off of her skin. Amazing. But people are just totally digging you. And eventually things kind of start to slow down. The mood starts to shift a little bit. And as you guys are kind of settling back down at the table, you're definitely a few cups in, having a good time. Sephel, have you continued to drink during like the couple of hours that this has been going on?
I think Sephel has been sitting at the table the whole time, watching this kerfuffle go on. Probably nursing the rest of the second cup he was given. You know, watching the fun, laughing at Scylla, making a fool of herself, toasting to Indigo, all kinds of things. But just sort of
make a perception check.
Sure. 14. I don't know why I still look like I can't remember if I don't have a perception bonus. 0. It's the easiest number to remember.
You're looking around and just seeing this good time, and maybe, who knows, it surprisingly fills you with a bit of warmth and a sense of relaxation as you look about. You know, you haven't truly experienced this in who knows how long. You can't recall, you know, what you did before, except for these odd memories that have come to you. But as
it's sort of the first like jovial night that we've had.
This is almost entirely new. Scylla, it probably brings back memories of you and the rest of the Tritons down below, and your own rambunctious parties in the deep part of the deep lake. And Starcaller, it probably brings back memories for you too, but maybe not quite so hard, because you've been with these people for months now, and you know that they are good-hearted, warm people. And Sephel, you notice as finally, you know, Scylla kind of stumbles back to the table, only because she's a little weary of dancing now, hours later. You see that woman that was sitting up above on the balcony, kind of enjoying the festivities. She actually gets up, and you see she's pretty tall, and she exits her balcony in a moment later, starts descending the stairs, and everybody starts to get quiet. And Starcaller, you've heard of this, but you have not experienced it yet. The reason everybody comes to the Serpent's Maw, especially late into the night, is because the mistress, Tarbitha, that owns it, is an incredible dancer. She has these kind of like slow, exotic routines that she does that nobody has ever seen before. And so she comes down and everybody clears space, and the few kobolds and a couple of goblins that were making up the band actually start making this kind of softer tune, this very kind of slow, almost ballroom-esque kind of music. And she unfolds her arms from her cloak and she stretches them out, and there's silence for a moment, and the music picks back up, and it's mesmerizing. It evokes so many different emotions within you all, bringing up various memories as she moves about the room. You see a couple of the bartenders that were, once slinging drinks constantly, actually go around and kind of dim some of the lights within the room until it's almost all focused on her. And this goes on for a while. And the only other word I could give this performance is ethereal. It almost doesn't feel real. She's incredibly graceful and smooth in her movements until finally it's almost like it passed in an instant, but you feel it in your bones that you were sitting there for a long time. She ends with a bow, and it's just silent. And then very slowly, everybody stands up, and there's this very quiet but very gracious applause throughout the room. And she then kind of folds her robes back around her and then goes back up the stairs, and you see slowly all the patrons begin to leave. And you see the bartenders are now kind of cleaning up. But that troglodyte that served you before comes back over and asks you, will any of you be needing anything before we close up the bar?
No, my friend. Sorry, I'm a little spellbound, but no, we are just right. Just, we'll make our way to our room.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Good night to you all. We'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. And he goes back to cleaning up the bar, and you guys are either free to go back to your rooms or whatever you guys would like to do.
I think Starcaller for his part is going to head back to the room and start getting ready for a night's sleep.
Yeah, it's bath time.
Bath time. Okay. Sephel, what about you?
I think he probably spends a few more minutes down, just sort of almost reluctant to let that first little night of joy and carelessness go. But, eventually it looks like the last of the patrons are sort of filtering out, and the staff is trying to close up, putting chairs up, moving things towards the end of the night. So he will eventually retire to the room as well.
Before you go up, you see that none of the bar or the staff are concerned with getting you to finish up of any kind. They take any of the spent glasses and the dish that was on your table. But the feel within this room when they finally leave and you're about to go back up, I want you to picture the atmosphere of the room is almost like an empty theater with a ghost light, because there's only a handful of those encased blue flame torches going, and it's just you within this solemn, vast space.
Wow. Yeah, it's certainly something to take in. He's sort of as he's, going up the stairway towards the room, he knows there's nothing there, and he doesn't know this place at all, but he just has to stare at the room again and sort of revel in what happened there for an extra minute and wonder if anything like that will happen the same way again.
And so you guys settle into your beds. Scylla, you're lounging in your bathtub.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just sprawled out. Great.
Yeah.
I imagine you take off all the armor probably for the first time in a long time, or do you not?
Oh, she definitely does. Yeah, like armor is off. She has like no modesty, so the door is wide open, and she's just like in the tub.
Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stool has not taken a bed. He's just like, it looks like he's just sitting in the corner, but you don't see any of the spores that he normally emits for how he communicates. And he just kind of looks slumped in there, but you imagine he's probably asleep. And so you guys gather yourselves up into these fur-lined beds, and you settle in for a long rest. And that's where we will end it today. Unless you have something to say.
No,
I have something to say. Happy New Year, losers! It's time to take a look at how we are doing. So before we make our 2023 D&D New Year's resolutions, let's review how we did in 2022.
Wow.
A whole freaking year. And
this
this time the episode will not be coming out in March, so bully for that.
Oh, we planned ahead.
Where were
I
we
feel
at?
like we were in the castle.
Does anybody remember where we were at when that episode
I think
came
so.
out?
I think so.
I think we were. I think that was Underground
was
Cat.
the
Oh, that was a lifetime
I was a younger
ago.
man then. For my part, I decided to live or die boldly in
you did
2022, and I think mission accomplished, my guys.
Yeah, you
No, you did great.
took your resolution.
Yeah.
I think it was
most literal.
unintentional boldness, but you certainly accomplished.
You know, I am but an
Yeah.
instrument of the story, Will.
Yeah, he rubbed some bold on there with the description of like tripping into the lava. So
There's some bold
Hot
flavors in that
goblin.
lava soup
So
now,
good.
too. So
little paprika.
a little bit of spice and too much nice.
Sephel, you were striving to not buy more than 2 sets of dice this year, and to have Sephel survive 2022.
And I will say, I bought a single set
Whoa,
of dice. this year.
overachiever.
Dice Goblin.
It feels wrong,
Mm-mm-mm.
but I did it, and against all odds and probably all rights, I'm still kicking.
Yeah.
Sephel
Yep.
is still in the game.
Yeah,
And right,
we'll at a point. We're recording one more episode, so
and there's always 2023. You got time.
That's not much
You
time.
got time.
we got time.
And Laura, or I should say Sam, who was then Laura, was gonna write for DM's Guild and then learn to love a martial class, and that your next character would be a fighter, but certainly not in this campaign.
Yeah, so look, I'm like 1 for 2, so 50%.
Yeah, so there's layers in there.
No, look, yeah, I wanted to learn to love them. It's just not for me, man. Like, I love Scylla, but like martial
So she's gonna
classes just aren't my
purposely
jam.
try to kill
like,
Scylla off
give me
real
some
fast.
spells, some
I feel
magic,
you.
some flavor. No, I love Scylla's
No,
personality.
here's- I have to agree with this because as someone who always like fights on the barbarian wizard line, like you always want to go to the martial, like it's always calling, you're always looking at it like this character is going to be the character, and then as soon as you play one,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, but
Right, and then
spells-
like every round I'm
Oh,
like,
I
wonder
missed
what I'll
it.
do this time. Oh wait.
yeah, oh, I guess I hit it.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's nothing wrong with playing what you love, and so
No. And I will say, love or hate, you play them
thank you.
very
Thank you,
well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
But I
yes,
did
yes, you
accomplish
did.
the other half. I wrote for DM skill.
Hell yeah.
plug.
Plug yourself a little bit. What did you write?
Yeah. It's a little one shot called Island of the Condemned, about an island where there's a group of convicts that are sent to live on the beach, while the mesa above, the ruling class, basically sends them down there to live and be eaten by vampires. It's this whole shebang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
Hell
you want
yeah.
to see what that's like, hit up on DM's Guild or contribute to our coffee page. Right now I'm typing out a stretch goal for Sam to
Yeah.
DM
that would be
for
awesome.
us.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Sam, on
Oh,
being our first
no.
stretch goal.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Oh,
Hell
no.
yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, stretch goal. I'm typing over now.
And our dear DM, Will, you looked for 2022 to be the year of more yes and to that I say,
I personally think I did it. Yeah, you guys vote.
we should have to
vote if you
vote.
think I did. I'm about to get shit on.
The silence.
I don't know what you mean.
I have
Who
no idea.
in this
No
chat would shit on you? We are all friends. No, I think we actually
Bonus
talked
round.
about this in
A bonus action 3,
one
yeah.
of the bonus actions. No, I think you did a good job for all the shit. No, really, like for all the shit that I will give you now and
Yes, you
always,
do.
because I need to humble you. It is my God-given duty. No, I honestly like being in so many campaigns with you, like knowing your progression going from like writing to acting to DMing. You've opened up a lot, and you are, as a man of logic, as a man of realism, there have been a lot of times where I, an old William would have been like, nope, that is ridiculous. Fuck all of that.
Thank you.
Fuck all of you. And you went with
We're
it,
pretty okay.
and it turned out pretty okay.
Great.
So you
Good.
have,
and I mean,
you have a
I'm
thumbs up
assuming,
from me, my
you know,
friend.
the fact that we've hit so many downloads means I'm somewhat sufferable as a DM for people to listen to. Yeah.
I would say a little bit,
Will, you're a good DM,
All of you
and
to assume
you're
it
a
has
great
anything
DM,
to do with you.
and you've done a wonderful job, and I will get vengeance for the death of Indigo, even though it was entirely my fault.
Thank you.
So all the yes ands for you, sir. But now, we're going to go around the horn again and decide what our 2023 New Year's resolution. Don't make that sound, Sam. This was your idea. And I will go first. I, Andrew Machiavelli Bartholomew Walker.
That's not real.
In 2023, my goal is to have. I wish to play a scene so spicy that it compels one of our listeners to create beautiful, non-erotic fan art of my character.
Why does it have to be not erotic?
Yeah, you need to break down the word spicy, because you can't put it in the fans'
I
hands.
know. That's why I had.
Spicy.
That's why the qualifier was there. Non-sexual.
He has spoken it, and so it shall be.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right.
Yeah, you're not a D&D podcast until there's
Oh, God. Moving on.
Sorry, Mrs.
A
Conklin.
really good example of yes and slash. Yeah. I
All of
was
you
gonna
to
say
assume she
Beatrice
still
getting
listens.
thrown in there. I was like, you know what we haven't done is we haven't done any spicy-ish content, and you know what? Now I know how squeamish Sam gets, so I'm all for it.
Hey,
I'm just kidding.
hey.
Make it stop.
Throw the NSFW rating on the episode.
Okay, Brennan, you're up.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. I have a personal goal and I have a podcast goal, or I should say a character goal, and a as a whole podcast goal. I would like, and I don't know if this is tell me if this is a bullshit resolution, because I don't know if it really has anything to do with me, but I would like to help shepherd this podcast. We've had amazing growth over this year. It's been a super fun ride. It's only getting better and better. I would like us to get to 15,000.
I'm almost gonna say 10.
10 is easy. We've already done close to 5. I want to say 15. I want to make it happen. So that's podcast goal. Personal goal. I actually have 2 of these because one of them is sort of a cop-out. No, the cop-out goal is a repetition.
Oh.
I think Sephel's going to survive 2023.
God.
Wow! Laying the
I'm
gauntlet.
putting it into the universe. I'm putting it into the universe.
Not if
I
can
think
say
Sephel
anything.
survives
No,
2023.
I will say Sephel was the only one who had a resolution riding on it, and he is the only one who survives. So
No, that is true.
I need to put the stakes into the universe, and so it shall be. But the non-cop-out one is I would like Sephel to craft 3 more spells over the course of this year.
Okay.
Interesting.
3 more unique
Okay.
spells.
All right.
As he survives the entirety of 2020.
Sure.
all right,
Man.
all right. Well, Sam, the numbers one's been stolen. So what you got? What is your 2023 New Year's resolution?
Yeah, my New Year's resolution for Scylla is that Scylla will reach the surface in 2023.
Ooh.
I know.
I like it.
And then I would also like to put out that we put some video content.
I
up
like
on
this
YouTube
one too.
year.
Ooh. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
I like it.
Heck yeah.
So I guess it's just me now. Damn it.
Yep, Will bringing us home.
Man, you know, I'm gonna
Come on,
steal one
baby.
of Sam's.
What you want?
I'm gonna steal her previous. I want to put something up on the DM's Guild, and I think it will be about the city of Dmyra and all the things you can do, because like the last 2 weeks I've almost done nothing but write. I have a ton of notes in my notebook, like so much cultural stuff, and it just keeps getting added on to. I have a number of different like mini things and side quests and NPCs galore, and so I would love to just share that, because everything that you guys are going through is entirely homebrew. Like, this was not in the module at all, and all because Andrew's like, I got this cool character, and I was like, we have to find a reason why he's in the Underdark and how he stayed alive until this point. And I've been loving it. I've been loving everything about this. So
Yeah,
I want to throw that out there for the world to enjoy. In a podcast thing, I want to hit 20,000
yeah.
downloads, and I would yeah, and I would
my
love
God.
to get more people
You
on the
spicy
Discord,
boy.
because I love seeing people on there and getting to interact with all of our listeners that have joined. So please do.
Now, make it a smart goal,
I
put a number on
want
it.
50 people to join our Discord. I'm going big or go
Jesus.
fuck home.
Let's fly.
Okay. My favorite part of this, I wholeheartedly support Will, and it's not just because there is a reality in which he fails his resolution and I succeed mine. If we hit the second we hit 15,000, I succeed. But if we don't hit 20,
Yep.
I only succeed.
There's a reality out there where we get to 19,999 on December 31, 2023, and Brennan's a happy boy.
Well, you know,
And
the way
I
I'm starting to
shit
work on
on
them
your
TikToks,
resolution,
I'm
my
hoping
boy.
them people come listen. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go find our The Madness
Yeah,
Table
yeah,
TikTok.
Yeah.
Have we plugged
just
that
right
yet?
here. You heard it here, folks, ladies and gentlemen. We are on TikToks. If you want more millennial content,
It's not plural.
shut up.
Called it the TikToks.
Oh fuck!
It is for our
Listen,
generation.
Listen,
God.
I'm gonna watch my TikToks on Reel like anything else, and I will be cutting this out so I don't look like an idiot.
No.
hold on.
Try and stop me.
Hold on, let me send out a message on AOL.
On the line.
All right, you wild. What do we call our listeners, guys? Do you have like a fun tag
don't
for them?
have that yet. You know what?
I don't know. I got nothing.
The Maddies. They're the Maddies.
Oh yeah, all those Maddie baddies out there. What's up? Come on down. Yes. All right.
Oh God, no.
All right.
No,
For
we're gonna
all
stop
my
that
Maddie
right now.
baddies.
We're not that level.
I'll see you in 2023.
Stop.
Hey.
It's not real.
Oh man, is that the time? We're overdue for another check-in with you fine listeners. Thanks as always for being here right up to the outro. We really appreciate that. You will never believe this, but we recently hit our 1-year podcast anniversary and 3,500 downloads. It's truly been a blast. We're having just a grand old time, and we look forward to another 50 episodes to come. Hopefully you join us for those next 50. That being said, we do have an exciting announcement. We have launched a coffee page. Yes, that's KO-FI page. There's no pressure to do so, but if you want to toss a coin to your witchers, that's us. You can head to ko-fi.com/themadness-table. All donations will go first toward our monthly operating costs, which include our podcast hosting software, items like that. But our ultimate dream is to be able to upgrade our setups, to be able to offer live stream recording sessions to get that sweet, sweet video content to accompany our audio. If you're not able to donate, but you want to support the show, we would just adore you if you left that 5-star review in whatever podcatcher you're currently listening in, or if you just spread the word and tell a friend. We would be eternally grateful for that support. So that's it. Until next time, when...
Madness